Okay. Should probably prepare this a little better next time. A video like this requires proper sonic grip. Got the blue hair going. Got a sonic hat. Got an Itachi button up. Let's see. I love how the Sonic 3 trailer completely stomped the Nintendo Direct today. Anyone else notice that? That was funny. I find that very, very, very funny, even though I'm a Nintendo diehard. I'm a freaking diehard Nintendo fan, so of course I'm going to find it funny when Nintendo loses to Sega. In a very roundabout way, but that hedgehog always beats the plumber. It's no contest. Mario might be the face of gaming, but Sonic is the face of awesome. I mean, look at this thing. This thing is a Sonic OC that became a character that I use as my avatar on the internet. And soon will be fully animated and replacing this. Okay. So, anyway, blah 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 blah. Warming up. While I'm warming up, listen to my attempt at making some Pokemon-style boss music. I'm pretty sure that's yeah, that's a good use of our time, right? While I set this whole thing up. why there's this random green line here. We certainly cannot have a we all know that this is Sonic Adventure 2, the movie. So, let's do it that way. That's a very terrible scrolling thing. Hey. I shall shrink that back down, honestly. This bigger. And since this is frame-by-frame analysis of a thing, let's make me less of a pop-up that blocks it. A more appropriate title for this video would probably be my frame-by-frame analysis of Sonic 3 trailer. But I keep gushing over how awesome everything I'm seeing is. There we go. And I am searching that window capture. Let's make the mouse visible. Okay. Let's test this. mouse cursor is not showing up. So, of course. Why did I think this would be easy? Guess I'm going to have to resort to drastic measures to get this to work. Anyway, we've got me in the frame, centered. Me button the tab buttons of the shirt. Okay. Keep the hair out of my eyes. My hat would have been really useful at work today. Okay. Oh, that is super unsatisfying. Perfect. Now it is perfectly centered and width horizontally anyway. Okay. Now to try my best to make this as interesting as possible.
You finally found your family.
And by that I mean, let's first watch the trailer and do some audio analysis now, shall we?
Sonic, you finally found your family. I know it ain't always been easy, but you didn't change who you
Look at
are.
this. Such a cool
found your
thing
family.
that this is actually a thing now. Also, I'm going to the Sonic Symphony on October 12th. We're gonna have fun! I'm gonna wear this hat.
Sonic, you finally found your family.
Try to keep up.
I know it hasn't always been easy, but you didn't change who you are in here.
Yeah, in my lungs.
Or your heart.
There's been a high-level security breach. And we need Team Sonic's immediate assistance. Project Shadow is far beyond anything we've ever encountered.
Shadow's story began a lot like yours, Sonic. But where you found family and friends, Shadow found only pain and loss.
All right, we got a rogue alien on the loose. How do we find it?
Start with the giant fireball?
I love it. Let's start with a giant fireball.
Youch, that's painful. Also, Tails gets
Much
thrashed
more
as usual.
impressive than the hedgehog I fought previously.
Dude, I'm standing right here.
You're a colorful bunch.
We don't want to fight you.
Actually, Sonic, I would like to fight.
No, no! My turn. Can we just talk about this? He's too powerful. I can't
Jim
believe I'm
Carrey,
saying
so
this,
good
but
at...
we need you know who.
We'll be discussing that scene later.
When has that ever stopped me?
Doctor! We have visitors.
This is sad, Robotnik, even for you.
We need your help.
On one condition.
Do this!
If I can't rule the world, I might as well save it! I need room. Sir, I don't have the proper materials. Found some.
There's Live and Learn.
When we're done, there won't be anything left.
Hey, no cheat codes!
There's Gerald.
What did you do? What I had to.
Okay.
Welcome home, my boy.
Puss in Boots: The Last Witch was a really good movie, by the way. Everyone should watch that.
Are you?
Okay,
In
so
the saggy flesh.
Sonic?
okay, so we got Sonic in a forest outside of Green Hills, Montana, probably filmed in the UK. Here he is running, doing his lovely Sonic Adventure reference where he runs in a spiral through the tunnel. I mean, in Mystic Ruins, who wasn't always running along the ceiling of Mystic Ruins when they were playing Sonic Adventure? This is a decidedly 3D Sonic thing. And he looks serious. Yeah, he actually looks very Adventure Sonic levels of serious right now. And smiling, sort of. Except that's not really a smile. I think he got angry after something happened and then ran off to go vent some steam by running. Zooming in on his eyes for a flashback of some kind. Possibly. Then we got Knuckles, who looks to the left. Why is this so fun to do? Anyway, Knuckles looks to the left. Then we got we got Tails. We got Tails. I have a head. But yeah. Oops. Now look at the foliage here. You got the same plant that looks like a larger version of Mosa Pudica. Or Pudica. Mwah. In the background you can see the similar multi-leafed lanceolate leaf plant, so this is indeed... Look at the adorable fox as his tails go floof. His floofy tails go flip. It's like he's priming his tails to take off. Looking in the background, you either see what looks like their house in Green Hills, or their tent, like a tent of some kind for camping. Most likely the house in Green Hills. Then you go further in, and you see all these scenes in this cluster take place in the same filming location, just based on the plants in the background. Look at the details on my fluffy boy. His ears look so fluffy. I kind of want to pull an Inuyasha on him and just go. Yeah. Look at that eager fox face. I'll be right back, and I have to grab a finger. What should I say? 3 things. 3 very thematically appropriate things. Incredibly thematically appropriate things, because I'm wearing my Sonic hat. But I'm a man of many hats. Okay. So, Tails is doing Tails things, because Tails is freaking adorable as always, especially live-action Tails. Okay, so we got London, I believe, based on the London Bridge in the middle there. And Tails is flying. Sonic is running. Possibly through the same city, but I'm not certain. The buildings are a bit too fast. Knuckles is also in London. About to punch a thing while he's gliding. Look at him using Iblis's powers like that. Totally setting up. Totally not setting up for a Sonic 06 movie to be the next one, because it's what happens before Unleashed. But look at the details as he leaps off of Big Ben. The actual clock. The Tower of London is what it is. Big Ben's the clock inside of it, if I remember correctly. This is going to be a wealth of random and useless trivia. But based on this, I'm going to guess that there's a fight going on in London, and it's quite possible that Shadow is not involved in this. My reasoning behind this, look at the overcast weather, but then again it is London. Like, English rain is a meme at this point. But with him bursting off of the clock like this, as if he's about to attack something, the eye shine doesn't get close enough because they did a really good job burying the leads in this trailer. Note how the background's a bit blurry, but we are in the highest resolution, I believe. Maybe I'll check the settings. No, I want the 1080p. There we go. Oh, look at those quills. Look at those echidna quills. Anyway. Knuckles using Iblis's powers. We learned about that in the Knuckles series. Feel free to chime in if you notice anything I'm missing. There's Sonic running through London for some reason. Oh look! They're next to a canal on the London Bridge. And Sonic is going up. All the boats are going away from something. By the looks of it. Like, that one just did a turn, as you can tell based on how it is spinning that way. So what could Sonic be attacking? For all we know, there could be a water monster named Chaos there, but that truck on the bridge tells me maybe not. Here we have Sonic's cave, with a lovely drawing of the loop-de-loop from Green Hill with Longclaw. Look at them, so cute and inseparable until the inevitable disaster from the Echidna tribe attacking them. And of course, nothing interesting happens here. You just see a bunch of Sonic stuff in the background. But that leads me to think that this dialogue here in this scene are not connected, because there's no moss in the next scene. He looks at this wall like he just found Sonic's cave. But then, when you cut to this scene, there is no evidence that they're still in the cave. It looks like they're in the attic back at Donut Lord's house. Also note how Sonic's model has grown taller and more mature looking throughout the entirety of the series. Like before, Ben Marsden had to, or not Ben Marsden, that's the voice of Sonic. Before that guy, or before James Marsden, that's the name, not Ben Marsden. Ben Marsden doesn't exist, but something. Anyway, James Marsden, the actor, was like, Sonic was like hip height, now he's like chest height. Or something. Just a little continuity nod throughout the series as things progress. Noticed it during the Knuckles series. Now we continue the running scene from earlier. He is grinding like he's wearing soap shoes. Knuckles is next to him. You thought we wouldn't notice the Knuck. Because there's a Knucks there. There's a Knuckles. because that's too red to be Amy or something. And he slides up the rail, and he jumps. He does one of his poses. I think he is actually about to do the Sonic Adventure pose in the air there, even though he already did that in the original. Here's the Paramount Pictures logo with the rings replacing the stars as usual, the Sega logo. We don't really have much to go there. Original film. Ah, yes. Now we get to the meat and potatoes. Welcome to Prison Island, which is where Shadow is being stored. And because we're in the meat and potatoes, time for some fun as I switch up my hats. Okay, so you see a pulse monitor, some undetermined text there. This is like a Tai Lung prison escape sequence, I have a feeling. We have a gun agent and another gun agent. I'm not going to call them GUN. Computer, zoom. Enhance. It just says fresh donuts. Behold. Now this is important. They are talking to this guy, but they're in this area. You can see the person in the background is wearing a Chow hat. Unfortunately, I don't have a Chow hat to wear. But we're in Japan now, so as you'll see later, I'm gonna wear my Sonic Goo hat. Hello, Baplum! Might be a bit late answering that because I haven't focused on this. So, this guy with all of his military stuff. Ah, now I have to wear two hats. Because Japanese Sonic text, my We're in Japan hat, and my Shadow hat, because Shadow's overtaking Japan. Anyway. Shadow awakens. Let's see if the eye shine has any hints for what's going on. Nope, just an angry glare. And then, whoosh! Look at that glass shattering in slow motion. It is glorious. And of course, they had guards already there that were ready to try and shoot him because he became active or something. Or because they found Project Shadow in Gerald Robotnik's records while trying to scrub Robotnik from the gun history, which was originally military history. And then it went back 50 years to Project Shadow, and since they found that, they sent the gun agents there, and that probably kick-started the whole of Shadow escaping in the first place, so Gunn is probably responsible for half the damage in this movie, as would be expected. Look at that brilliant pyrotechnics display. Here we have ring travel. The helicopter is emerging from some mountainous area, which I don't think we saw. I think that might be Green Hills, or is that a volcano? That might be a volcano. Who knows? All I know is that we've got my son again, just wearing pilot's gear, because why not? And they're in a helicopter. And Tails is just thrilled to be there. Meanwhile, shortly after the glass-busting scene, or literally this is the glass-busting scene still. Hey, my cursor finally showed up. That's good. Now I can point to things more specifically as they show up. Look at this. Look at those shoes. I want those shoes. Everyone I know wants those shoes. Everyone growing up wanted those shoes because of the fact that the air shoes literally let you glide across the ground. He just emerged from the fluids. He's dripping wet. And then bam. Flish. Kind of looks like Super Shadow. Or Hyper Shadow, or whatever the name is. I forget. Is it just Super Shadow? Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Oop. He is gone. And now they are investigating what I'm going to assume, based on the robots in the background. Why does that need to be cleared? Based on the robots in the background, I'm going to guess they're investigating Gerald's house right now to find some answers about things. Flashlight reflection on something. They're either inspecting Gerald's house or looking for Eggman. One of those two. Now we've got Shadow still in a weird fluid suspension. And Maria. With all these blinking lights. Can't tell you how insane it is that there's a literal probably millions of people out there who want to see this little girl get shot. It still baffles me that it's that this is the kind of thing that you can get from that. Okay, now we're still over by some jungly area, probably in Green Hills. But look at Tails' tails. They're so fluffy. Schwip. And prehensile, essentially. Very prehensile tails. His tails. Okay, so the background is the mountain from earlier, so this probably takes place before the helicopter scene. Probably him saying, oh, gee, I'd love to pilot a helicopter. Now, what can we see in the eye shine? The image in the eye shine does not show much. Those lights in the top right are interesting. They're about to have a fun little friendly race. Tika Sumpter and James Marsden doing Tika Sumpter, James Marsden stuff. The role of Rouge the Bat shall be played by Tika Sumpter, and the role of Christopher Thorndike shall be played by James Marsden this time. Look at his facial expression. It's a face of shock. But do we know where this is? They've done a really good job preventing people who scrub through movies from finding things in this movie, haven't they? Probably. You can see there's a lot to dissect in this one. Computer, lights up! Okay, that'll make this easier to analyze the darkness, the dark scene here. You can see some kind of robot on the right. You can see a vehicle that has been overturned in an accident of some kind or an explosion. Some fires have been set. There's gun agents. You've got the gun agents doing gun stuff. They're all pointing guns at a little girl and a hedgehog. Based on the way the fire is starting, this is literally fresh off of the fires starting. Here we continue them flying to Tokyo. As you can see Tokyo Tower right there, that red thing right here, Tokyo Tower. And also, I don't know a city with more billboards and marquees and lights on it than Tokyo. I've been there. Tokyo is awesome. Everyone should go to Tokyo. Shibuya especially. Oh, look at Mount Fuji in the background. I never noticed Mount Fuji while I was there. I don't know why I wasn't paying attention to Mount Fuji. Okay, so Tails is piloting. We've got what looks like humans in the background. Or just parachutes, or packs, or some kind of thing. Tails is just so happy to be there. Oh wait, there's the other person. There's a person. They look like they're just a gun agent. And then you see explosions. Nothing interesting, just Tails being adorable. And then these are two different scenes. Unless they cut to Sonic spinning in the air somehow. Actually, hold on a sec. Let's see something. And now that is still the same lights on the propellers. They just look a little different. Like, something about the lighting is completely different when they're jumping out of this. When they jump out of this one, it's completely different. Like, no, the orange is illuminating Tails' fur. There's no green light on top of him at all from the helicopter. So this takes place at a different time and place. And then Tails is very orange here. Ah, now we're talking. Some Japanese text in the background. There's a Starbucks there, which they have in Japan. Don't know how to read kanji. I just know that there's a big thing in the middle, or on the left, there's big. Kusuri? Wonder what Kusuri means? I forget. But that's what those katakana there say. And now a badass Shadow not walking in Tokyo. This is not Tokyo. If you look closely in the background, that is definitely not Tokyo. He is walking along the burning remains of some kind of thing in wherever Maria is. It's the same fire. Probably be horribly wrong there. But you can see he's walking on some kind of shelving material or thing that has the ability to hang a hook off of it. That's what that slot is for. And notice, there's not that much fire around him in this scene. Oh look, a ramen ad of some kind. Usually that's what those colors are used for. That says Casto in katakana right there. Now they're even close to the Starbucks. Oh, that's an arcade! Actually, yeah, that's different. That says Tokyo. Oh, wait, is that an onsen? That's not an onsen. That's totally not an onsen sign. What does that kanji mean in the middle? But that says Tokyo. Oh, something. But you can see all the gacha machines and stuff. This was definitely something that was definitely takes everything it needs to from Tokyo. Because they have literal alleys full of those gacha machines, and it's a big part of their entertainment industry. So, this scene and this scene right here take place in two completely different areas. If you look closely, you see rubble here. Lending to the whole, those are two separate helicopter drop scenes. I have a feeling they're going to be trying to stop Shadow a few times and run into these issues. Itchy nose. This might be the first one that they do, just based on how they look all optimistic about their chances. And then Knuckles is now on the right side. There's more burning cars. Knuckles tells him he wants to fight. And we get some of the more crazy stuff here. This is definitely in Shibuya Crossing. Wow, Shadow literally attacked Shibuya Crossing. You can tell it's Shibuya Crossing because of how wide of a crosswalk that is and the open space that there is between all those buildings. That's definitely where this takes place. This is definitely Shibuya Crossing. And once again, they're in a different position completely than where they were before because, note the stripes on the ground here. Note the lack of stripes on the ground here. Note the stripes on the ground here. No stripes. Stripes. No stripes. They look like they've tussled with him before in this scene. They look fresh off the boat, ready to get their asses handed to them in this scene. And then if you look at all of the reflections and stuff, there's Sakura banner right there. So odds are this takes place sometime in the spring. Not that that's important, but hey, Cherry Blossom Festival. I love the cherry blossoms. I went there during March, and I actually did get to see some Sakura Blossom stuff. It was pretty. Though my trip to Shinjuku kind of ruined it for me, because Shinjuku sucks. Wrong button. Lights on again, because I don't need the darkness to analyze what's going on. And now you can see my shadow hat again. Okay, so Knuckles leaps at Shadow to attack him. This is definitely in the correct area. What I'm guessing is Sonic and Co. are on vacation in Tokyo. When Gun is like, hey, there's this really... when they encounter this guy, they barely get away, and then they're like... Then they get encountered with Gun, they're like, hey, yeah, there's this crazy shadow thing that wants to kill you, or that wants to destroy all of humanity. Come help us stop it. Or something. Ankaseron. Ankaseron. What's Ankaseron? Or Anskaron? Anskaseron? That katakana says that. Loctane. Interesting. The main reason I wanted to do this is... Hello, Annie Black. I'm not certain that he needs the emeralds in this one. I bet the emeralds will come into play, though, once they realize, oh no, we can't stop him, we need to go super. And now he grabs and breaks Knuckles' wrist. Ow, ow, ow. Couldn't resist. It's funny. Okay, so that's the 109 building, which is really the 104 building, so that really is Shibuya right there. Raikou, Aiken, Akoma. What do any of these even mean? And I know that there is actual Japanese stuff in this, as well as just proper nouns that I see. We'll be getting to that. I'm not certain yet that BioLizard is or isn't here. But note that the vehicle in the background of Sonic, the vehicle behind Sonic is still the same. No, I don't want to do that. The vehicle behind Sonic is still the same. I'm doing this live and off the cusp and just doing it in a live analysis. There's no script here. So there isn't more than a few things I want to point out. Also, look, he has eyelashes. Very pretty eyelashes. And now they are back to being in front of there. Tails getting bodied in front of Starbucks. Clearly part of another scene of them encountering him a different time. And I believe that that is just a regular electronics store. Tsutaya, Tokyo. But yeah, see all the gacha machines? Better angle than the previous one. Too much motion blur for me to make out what's going on there. And then Shadow throws Sonic, warps above him, and does a thing. While Sonic looks like he's only trying to talk to Shadow. And then they crash down in the middle here, sending debris flying and changing the landscape just a little bit. From Paramount Pictures, with some Shadow energy and some Sonic energy. Look at all the water as this random spaceship-looking thing rises out of London. Yeah, that's definitely London, and this takes place way after, or slightly, actually this takes place probably a little before. No, it takes place a little after. When Sonic and Co. are in there doing something to fight, which is why I believe that Shadow isn't going to be the main villain, is if you go back to what I said earlier about London and having all the different stuff in London, with Knuckles jumping off of Big Ben, then stands to reason that something hostile happens around London that involves this spaceship-looking thing that is clearly an Eggman robot of some kind, Could be an Eggman robot. Could be Space Colony Arc literally taking off in the past. Because no, there's a slight sepia tone to everything now. And I'm pretty sure if you look closely enough, a lot of the buildings are a little older. Or like a little older buildings that weren't there before. Oh no. I overworked it. But we'll see what I'm talking about when we go back to their London scene. Actually, no, we're not going to see what we're talking about. I think that this is actually based on what I just saw. Same shot from a different angle.
I know it has no.
Or same place, different angle
Always
shot.
been easy.
We go back to this scene here. Sonic was running up this side of the bridge to get to this. As you can see, this is a different angle of the same place. The same dock is right here where the ship was. And then this thing flies out. Does it have an insignia on the top? It looks like a G on the top. And then here is Shadow, obviously running towards the camera ominously like Tai Lung when he escaped the prison in Kung Fu Panda. Thank you. Thank you, Mika Mikao. Mika Mikao. But yeah, he's doing his cool thing of skating across the water's surface because when Shadow runs, he needs a lot of space to run because left and right, he literally is skating on the air. So in slow motion, it looks much cooler than it does in actual motion, which just looks like he's skating, but still pretty cool. You can see water in his eye, like image of water in his eyes or something, like the reflection. This takes place shortly after he escapes, where he bodies a bunch of gun soldiers.
It's too powerful.
And if you look closely, you can see that they are shooting him, or trying to shoot him, but they are missing, as he dodges, instead only shooting their own men. Then he does one of his signature warp kick moves, which I'm pretty sure that's like one of his go-to moves in most of the games where he has a fighting ability. Like Sonic 06, his kick is like one of his go-tos. Then he warps after kicking them. Then we have an area in a scene that we have not seen yet, which has this weird red checkerboard or red hexagon pattern, and Tom is being sucked into the floor for some reason, or stuck. Then you see what looks like skylight, broken glass. Shadow found a place to brood, probably where Maria died, and then Sonic found him, and then Shadow goes to punch him. Something exploded and created a black hole. If you look closely at all the stuff around it, it's not all getting sucked in. there is some weird thing taking shape here. Could be biolizard related for all we know. This could be the biolizard spawning. Like, if you look closely, it's kind of biolizard shaped if you think about it. But where are they? Doing some kind of circular amphitheater-looking machine ship thing on a raised platform. That could also be their interpretation of chaos, for all we know. But you see all of these little fans and stuff. Neat. Neat to see some fans like that. And now you are back not in Tokyo, because Tokyo does not have police written on their cars. But more importantly, actually, based on the uniform of the person behind this, I can't say for sure it's not Tokyo, because it looks pretty similar to the Japanese police uniform, but could be British for all we know. Who knows? All I know is that there's a lot of rain on the ground, there's a lot of water everywhere. They look depressed, probably because they found out some depressing thing about Shadow while fighting in a rainstorm or something. Here they are back in what appears to be London? No, this is more Tokyo. I know that architecture anywhere. I think this is not London anymore. I think that is literally more Japan stuff. This is a bad idea. Note how they're still in the same area where the lighting was that color. If we separate the scenes, there's like a couple different areas where the scenes do stuff. Yes. The dejected house of Dr. Eggman. Look at all the ice cream wrappers and food things and takeout boxes and all the frat boy stuff everywhere. He is analyzing something, but don't know what. And here we have Jim Carrey in a fat suit. That navel is very inaccurate. In fact, it annoys me how inaccurate that is. This is Stone raising an eyebrow at him and being like, oh, hey! And then that's him seeing everyone saw him going, ah! Look at him. He has embroidered hippie stuff all over his stuff. It's after Sonic ruined his life, he ended up just sinking into the throes of depression, I guess. And then, of course, Knuckles is fatphobic about it. Tails is just looking chubby and adorable as usual whilst doing this, so you can see that he glares at the screen for some reason. Don't know if it's because Knuckles said that it was low for him to be that way and then made the connection, I don't know. Might be reaching for something that's not there. Oh, this is a funny scene. On one condition, he will help. Same area. And he got his fix. The junkie finally got his fix after how many years of waiting, or how many months or weeks or whatever, withdraw from Hedgehog Quill. And then we have the kind of facial expression only Jim Carrey can give us. And the kind of living cartoon character animation of movement and body. Wait, Shadow's not present anymore. Movement and body that Jim Carrey can give us. And the exaggerated in-your-faceness that only me and Jim Carrey can give us. I feel like if I had been an actor, I could have easily been the next Jim Carrey. I'm animated enough and not afraid of boundaries. Or at least not afraid to approach the edge of the boundary and toe the line enough to make it so that it looks convincing, but it isn't actually a thing. Robotnik getting a makeover! His mustache is about the same length, it's just a little frizzled back. He decides to go and change into his outfit. But his outfit is now too small because he is fat. This part is honestly really boring. Except for the fact that he rips off Stone's shirt and uses it. Showing once again how dexterous Eggman and how strong and unmessable with Eggman is, because, of course. Now we see the release month is still the same. Sonic and Eggman are going to what looks like a government facility based on all the barbed wire, the rings there, they're in the mountains. There's a lot of liquid on the ground. I'm not saying chaos. Here is Shadow running circles in some kind of reactor-looking thing. Could be the inside of that ship. Actually, hypothesis. That ship that takes off in London? Space Colony Ark. Shadow is powering it up by running and generating electricity by spinning a turbine to make it take off. Something with lightning happens here. Thunder, rain, lightning, danger, water rising, clamor, sirens wailing. It's such a bad sign. Shadows and dark creatures, steel clouds floating in the air. People run for shelter. What's gonna happen to us? That's in Tokyo again, I think. No, is that? That's not Tokyo Tower. It's a different place. But I don't know where. Could be London. Everything happens in London. Oh wait. No, that is Tokyo. You can see because we got the front thing going out. Could be a different power outage for a different scene also. We have Shadow leaving their fight, or leaving the enemies in the dust saying, "Don't interfere with my mission," or something like that, probably. And then here is Sonic running through Tokyo once more, with Shadow on a bike, ready to, you know, try and catch him off guard, but Sonic notices, goes into his spin dash. Here is that bridge from behind where Stone shows up before, which is clearly a Tokyo walkway of some kind. Oh, here we are. There's Knuckles and Sonic inside of whatever that spaceship-looking thing was. The lighting in the background definitely screams space. And I don't know if I've ever seen an Eclipse cannon without a mustache, so could be that they're at the entrance of the Eclipse cannon. Which, I don't know how that would work if the Chaos Emeralds were inside of the Master Emerald inside of a giant tomb thing. Maybe another power source will be introduced or something, but it could probably still destroy everything. This is the scene why I wanted to do this whole thing. Because this literally is a Chow Garden themed... It's literally a Chow Garden. There's missiles coming. This is probably their first sign that something is up. There are missiles. I don't know if they're of gun origin or not. They explode and send things flying. In hindsight, I should have looked for the English that said Chow Garden on there, because that's literally what Chowgaden is what that says in Japanese. You've got cheese, you've got what looks like a power swim normal chow, or normal power swim chow. No, neutral power swim chow. Or is it a neutral power chow? And then some other chow there. On the right, I can't, or on the left, I can't figure out what kind that is. Here is Eggman helping Sonic snoop around Gerald's house, probably, to try and find information on Shadow. This is a Japanese Chow Garden Cafe, arcade-looking place. Look at all of the cool Chow costumes and stuff. Chow animatronics, Robo Chow, some kind of walker. I mean, not like Omo Chow. I don't see an Omo Chow anywhere, thankfully. Then we see an angry, soaking wet Shadow because something they did caused water to fall. I believe this comes before the sad-looking look. But there's also a lot of water here. And it looks suspiciously Station Square-y. Not saying anything yet. There could be chaos for all we know, though. That could be chaos. Then we got Shadow on a motorbike doing an Akira slide. I think he's doing it up a tower, like literally Akira sliding up a tower into space, or not into space, but like super high in the air. And then Doom. And now this is clearly a pissed off Sonic on top of Tokyo Tower about to take down Shadow. Like, we don't usually see the Hedgehog this pissed off in any of the shorts, or not shorts, in any of the live action stuff. But you can see he is ticked off. There's not really anything more to say there. And this is, of course, above London, I believe. No, that might be another tower in the background. That could be Tokyo Tower, for all we know. But anyway, then they clash. And we get the title card. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Dun, dun, dun. Dun. And the beautiful sound of that whole thing is just awesome, because like Live and Learn plays during and then we have this guy show up whilst they are snooping in Gerald's house. His name tag also says Gerald, I believe. And it uses what looks like a picture from Sonic Adventure. Now, I believe Gerald is the true antagonist of this whole thing. Just like he was in Sonic Adventure 2, Gerald will probably be responsible for trying to get revenge for whatever happened to Maria in this movie. And, of course, he's played by Jim Carrey, because why wouldn't the Robotnik family be played by Jim Carrey? The effects here are really good, because Jim Carrey hugging himself looks really good here. You can see something to do with power focusing and all the glasses and lenses and stuff there pointed at a thing. Plus the writings on the wall of an insane madman, probably. All the different reflective surfaces. Something exploded or broke in the corner over there. And yeah. That's basically the gist of the breakdown of it. So from all of this, I can gather that Shadow is not the antagonist. Shadow is just the bait-and-switch villain. Just like he was the bait-and-switch villain for, say, Sonic Adventure 2. Where he usurped Eggman as the villain, but in the end ended up being a hero who helped stop Gerald. Which is what this is shaping up to look like. Because that saucer is probably Arc, whether we want to accept that or not. Shadow launches it back into space so that he can probably destroy the world. Something happens that causes the two of them to have to work together. Most likely Robotnik teaming up with Gerald, or most likely the Robotnik duo doing something stupid that unleashes some sort of primal evil upon the world and leads to a lot of stuff. Most of the movie is probably going to be Sonic trying to break through to Shadow and get him to stop being alone and try to help him. It'll probably end with Shadow riding off into the distance on a motorcycle or dead, like in Sonic Adventure 2. From what I've seen so far, we're gonna have there's gonna be a prominent few scenes that take place in Tokyo. There's gonna be some scenes that take place in London. There's going to be some Green Hills scenes, but there's also going to be some military compound, some prison island, but like.
I can't believe I'm saying this.
Short scene.
Room. When we're left.
Code.
Junior.
It's this little blip right here that is giving us the tease of all the really cool stuff. This is Sonic probably going with that. This is Sonic going with Evo to probably go and probably go investigate a military compound or an abandoned military compound. You can tell from the fences and the more grassy plants that they're definitely in some sort of South American area. So we might get more locales like Green Forest or White Jungle that end up getting exploded in the end. We might actually get some references to some of the levels from Sonic Adventure 2. And Sonic Adventure. But yeah, based on all this stuff, it's some sort of African or South American area. And then, of course, you have him powering up the device. Some sort of electrical storm happens. That looks like Chaos Emerald energy from how it works in the series where Sonic summons a chili dog by having him strike lightning in his hand. That's pretty much all there is to break down. I am super fucking excited for this movie. We're gonna have fun on December 20th. Hell yes. Make sure you request work off that day and don't accidentally trade shifts with the associate and show up on the wrong day like I did for the Mario movie, accidentally ruining my entire casino career. That is a moment I will always regret. Anyway, thank you for watching this lovely descent into the madness that is the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 trailer, and how we definitely have them dropping from the helicopter multiple times. This would be the first time they do it. There's no green illumination. But also just because they're not in the range of it yet. Because if you do look closely, they are starting to turn and stuff. But then again, just falling from a helicopter like this wouldn't have you do a complete 180 within the same space. Alright, keep rambling, I have to go to bed. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, comment on my inane ramblings, tell me if you noticed anything I didn't notice, perhaps. My theory that Gerald Robotnik is the true antagonist and there's some sort of other secondary or tertiary antagonist to deal with. And also, we're definitely going to space. But they definitely did a good job of making this trailer so that we couldn't tell if anything was, you know... Except for this. This is clearly in space. Or close to it. But it's definitely a big Eclipse cannon weapon. You can tell from those. For all we know, they can pull a bait and switch, Nephilis is the villain. But what are they gonna do in the post-credits scene? That's gonna be some insane stuff. Anyway, I will stop with the fake endings now. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, sub, comment, tell me if I missed anything. And also tell me if you agree that this chubby, adorable Fluffbutt copter is the most precious thing to grace our screens, and that live-action Chopper in One Piece live-action will probably rival cuteness. Who knows? Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye!